Welcome back. So this episode is going to talk about renew, uplifting, and unity. Oftentimes we look in our lives and we say, we look at areas in our lives that needs to be uplifted or renewed, you know, and we need to bring back unity. Um, Majority of the time we see that we are trying to always renew, and that is good too. But, we need to uplift our spirits first before we try to renew our outside. We spend so much time trying to make the outside look good, but when we really need to look inward and renew ourselves, we don't. We find ourselves saying, oh yeah, I get some new clothes, a new hair, new shoes, and I'll be okay. But are you? That is the question. Those shoes, those clothes, the hair, once that's gone and taken off, what do you have? Your spirit is really what is going to lift you up, and that's going to uplift you. And if that's diminished or that's hurt or tarnished, how does that look? Because we spend so much time on the outward appearance that we forget that it's all about inside and healing from the inside. And it's nothing like healing from the inside and showing it outward, because once you heal from the inside, you will glow from it within, and it'll shine bright. You don't have to wear all the fancy clothes or the shoes or the hair or the makeup or whatever it is that you think that you need to bring that shine, because you'll be shining without it. And if we look at areas in our lives that has that wall up, that divider, that division that's holding us back from growing or going forward in our lives, we will see the areas that need to be improved. When we walk around and we're numb to the fact of life, because the areas that is out there and it's open, what we show the world is not what we see behind the scenes. And oftentimes, we put up a persona of all happy, lucky, and glory when we're out there in the streets. And then when we're behind the closed doors, we're falling apart and at the seams, barely making it. There was a youth that I know that this was happening to. Every week he was always football games, doing his thing, going to school, having a good time, going to all these parties. His social media was blowing up. You could see him everywhere on the social media. But behind the scenes, what we didn't know was he was falling apart. He told several people he felt alone, he felt isolated, he felt ashamed, but he was the star of the football team. So how would you think he would feel that way? Well, you never know what people are going through behind closed doors when no one's around. The inner turmoil between self and reality is a torment that's between two, and we can't see that. Majority of the time, only thing we see is the surface of what people show you. And this young gentleman could have made it all the way to the NFL. Unfortunately, he took his life, and that is a hard pill to swallow when you've worked so closely with someone that and seen good potential, but that was it. The potential that I was seeing was a persona. And now, thinking about that, I have to realize that when I meet people, am I meeting that persona or am I meeting that real person? You know, guards go up, especially when people who are going through a lot of things is happening to them, and they put that guard up and they only show you what they want you to see. And when you see someone that is out like there like that, you know, and I didn't realize that until recently, you know, it was a cry for help. But I didn't realize that until the last minute. And that's what I want y'all to take a look at, because sometimes people do a lot of things for a lot of reasons just to get the help. And it wasn't brought to my attention until after this young gentleman was gone that that was what he was doing. You know, going to the parties, going to the late night stuff, and you know, it was a cry. You know, so my thing is, if you know someone or even suspect someone that is having this issue, you know, take a moment, talk to them. You know, see where their mind is, see where their heart is, you know, because it only takes a moment to change someone's mind or, you know, even brighten their day, you know, because if I would have known that this young gentleman felt the way he felt, you know, I would have tried to get him the help that he needed. And it was a little bit too late after the fact. But now that I know the signs and symptoms, you know, I can go out here, and if I see another youth like that, I will be like, hey, what's going on? You know, is there anything that I can do for you? Is there anything you need? You know, just basically trying to make sure that they're okay, you know, because I know that, you know, a lot of young people go through a lot of stuff, and it's nothing like we went through when we was younger. You know, I hear a lot of older people my age and a little older saying, oh yeah, well when I was young, you know, this and this happened. But my thing is, you know, we're living in a whole different time now, and that doesn't even apply. Half of the stuff that I did when I was younger don't even apply now. The kids are doing way crazier stuff than we was doing. So, you know, what we used to do and how our parents used to do us, it doesn't apply. It can't even come close to hitting the nail on the head here with these kids, because this is a different time. They're doing different things, and the bullying and the whole other level of stuff that they're doing is nothing that we ever done, you know. So yeah, I cannot express how, you know, parents take a moment and just figure out a new way of parenting, because the old way of parenting would work great. It worked great for the time that it did, but this new parenting age now, something has to change, and it has to be different, because right now we have kids raising kids, and we have to teach our kids who's raising kids how to raise their new kids, because for one, I'm seeing a different type of bullying that I ain't never seen before, seeing different types of drugs that kids are getting into that I've never seen before, and you know, trying to coming together as a unit, as unity, as a community, you know, and trying to tackle this is hard, because I mean, never in my lifetime would I ever thought I would see kids, you know, taking Tide Pods or you know, stuff like that, you know. So that's a whole nother parenting there, you know. Yeah, and then with the bullying being, used to be face to face, you know, we go out to the playground, we'll scrap it and beat down. Now the kids coming back with guns, knives, you know, and then they're doing this thing called cyber trashing, you know. That's way past cyberbullying. You know, we had cyberbullying way back then. Now we got cyber trash, and I'm like, what is cyber trash? And I was like, well, is this like cyberbullying? And then he's like, no, this is way past that. And then they got the Snapchat bullying, and I'm like, okay, we're doing too much. Well, they're doing too much, because right now we just got to get on ahead of it. And trying to parent on an old way thinking ain't working. And yeah, you know, it's one of those things where I feel most that, you know, we have to take care of our inner self first before we can actually move forward and see what we can do to have a better understanding of moving forward. And then we can be renewed after we take care of that inner self, because within us we have the power to change the things on the outside, you know, and then we can bring more people together. But with this day and age, you know, trying to spend all our time perfecting the outside, we're gonna die and kill ourselves on the inside just to take care of the outside. And that's not fair to yourself or anybody else, you know. So, we all have areas that we want to take a look at and figure out what it is that we can do to bring that unity as a family together as a whole and renew everybody, you know, not just ourselves. Because once we do that and uplift your whole family, you know, then we can do that, you know, because we're living in a time of change. I don't know if anybody understands what I mean, but we're living in a time of change. And it's not something that just gradually happened. It's been happening for a long time, but we were so stuck on what was and living in the past that we forgot to see that there was changes being made all while we were sleeping. And if we don't catch it or get a handle on it, we're going to be left behind wondering why we're still stuck in this one particular moment in time with nowhere to go, because the world is not making room for us. It's just keep going. It's not going to make room for us. We're going to have to barge our way in, because they're going to be like, well, you're still stuck on old ways. You're still over here, and you don't fit. So my thing is, renew yourself, uplift yourself, and then unify yourself. And once you do that, you will be able to find your place in this world. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss an episode. And comment below and tell me something about yourself, because I am Dax.